first you might think hybrid Corvette, hybrid muscle car, that doesn't really make sense. But trust me, this thing absolutely hammers along. It's not missing out on any of the muscle car credentials that you may know about a Corvette or any American muscle car, but it just offers even better performance and better economy. This is the new Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. It's on sale in Australia now from around $275,000. It is very pricey, but it does offer proper supercar credentials. For starters, look at it. It looks like a supercar. Very low slung cabin design. It is mid-engine too, so I would totally, categorize this as a supercar. Got a 6.2 litre V8 Chevy engine in the back there. It produces 369 kilowatts alone, and then you've got electric battery, or a battery, 1.9 kilowatt hour battery, providing power to the front axle, an e-motor at the front, 119 kilowatts. Combined, you've got 488 kilowatts. As I said, this is proper supercar stuff. I love the look of it. I think it does blend in some Ferrari elements, like the headlights and the way that it's got those big flat rear haunches. But that's just textbook supercar really. They all have that. Long tail as well here, so from the back of the rear windscreen you've got this big long area here. Nice ducktail spoiler. Yeah, I reckon it looks awesome. It looks better in person, I think, if anything, because on paper or on the screen, yeah, it just doesn't look that low slung. It looks like a more traditional Corvette even. Whereas in person, yeah, you've just got this huge, fat, low design. I love the way the wheels almost stick out from the body as well. Only at the front here. I mean, it's turned at the moment, but yeah, the wheels are really flush with the body. It really looks awesome. You've got proper grills in the front end, feeding some radiators or coolers or whatever, transmission coolers on both sides. And then down the side, behind the door, you've got big gulping air intakes there as well for more cooling. Interestingly, this is kind of a convertible or a targa top really, because you can take this roof panel off. You can actually store it in the back here. It slots deep down in there and then just clips with these little brackets. Decent amount of boot space there as well actually. You could easily fit 2 carry-on luggage cases, I reckon, or at least one. And then you've got some storage under the front as well. And there's that 6.2, I think it's an LT2 Chevy V8, naturally aspirated. It's the latest technology basically, direct injection. It's an evolution of the LS if you like. But yeah, that's a crisp engine by itself. And then the electric motors, as I'll show you later on, we'll go for a drive, they just support the motor. They don't try to take over the motor or anything. There is a electric range of around 6 kilometers or something, but I never really experienced that or found any use in that. I just found it useful when you're driving along the highway. It's just cruising along. That electric motor just helps pull it along. It's not so much relying on the V8. And getting up to speed as well, even when you're just not flooring it or whatever, just getting up to speed off the lights, the electric motor just takes that initial heave to just build up speed. It works. It's not interfering with what the Corvette has always been about. It is pretty heavy. It's 1,825 kilograms, which if you compare it to previous generation Corvettes, that's pretty heavy. But by today's modern standards, for a hybrid, that's actually pretty light. The interior is all but conventional, especially in this color trim. It's got these blue seats, carbon fiber square steering wheel basically, big wraparound console with all of your climate settings. And then, yeah, its steering cluster and all that sort of protrudes out. It's definitely very supercar-like and unique. And it does start like a muscle car as well. So as I said, you're not missing out on any of the, let's turn that fan down. You're not missing out on any of the muscle car traits that we know and love of a Corvette. It still feels and sounds like a muscle car. It's got that V8 noise. It's just going over your shoulder rather than up the front. Now this touchscreen, I'm not a huge fan because it is a little bit confusing. You've got stuff sprayed all down there, as I said, but that's mainly for the climate control. And you've got 2 buttons here, or sorry, 3 buttons here. The camera, nose raise function, which is very handy. just pops the nose up a little bit so you can get up driveways and so on. Then your traction control button. But then you've got hidden buttons down here, your stop start if you want to turn that off. And you've got more buttons over this side for the boot, front boot, rear boot. And you've got some extra ones here for the head-up display. And then a little bit of a confusing steering wheel setup. On this side is all of your menus and so on. It's going to say the boot's open. But basically, yeah, you can go through and you've got different information to display there. Oh, here we go. So you've got your performance timers, launch control, G-force meter and all of that. Audio. And then the lane keep assist is up here. You've got to hold it down for a good 3 seconds. It took me a while to get used to where that was because I was thinking, surely you can turn the lane keep assist off. This is a muscle car, supercar, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so it's just very scattered around the place. Then you've got your drive mode switch under here. So you just rotate this little wheel. You've got Tour, My Mode, Sport, and Track. And then down here on the steering wheel, you've got the Z mode. You do have some cool readouts here, dyno, gauges. Yeah, it's all very cool. I just think they could have done a little bit better with the menu layout and the menu flow because it's just a little bit confusing. The screen is also a little bit small if you want to compare it to the latest supercars and sports cars or whatever. I don't mind that. I don't like big, massive screens, so I think that's a positive, but some people might see that as a negative. Just before we get out, actually, yeah, the cabin space it's pretty tight. It's an intimate sports car in here. It's not a big open, sedan-based model. If you're very tall, you might start to struggle a little bit, but you can put the seat all the way back. The seat, it'd be nice if it went a little bit lower again, even though I'm sure I'd want it to be just a little bit lower. The steering wheel's a little bit awkward, but the driving position is great. Like everything's there, you've got plenty of adjustment. You can find a good, comfortable position to be in. Then up front there, yeah, you've got a decent sized boot. So you could easily fit a carry-on luggage bag one in there and then one in the back as well. All right, we'll go for a drive. I'll take it on some country roads just to see how it handles in normal conditions, and then we'll hit the mountain road and see how it handles, and then we'll do the performance test as well. Firstly, what's this thing like to drive on an ordinary country road? It's surprisingly comfortable actually. Even though it is so low slung, there seems to be a decent amount of wheel travel happening. And yeah, it's not, shaking me around, it's not bone jarring at all. It's just soaking up the bumps quite nicely. I can feel that it does have very, very low profile tires though, like all the little ripples in the ground, and it tram lines a little bit and pulls around a little bit. But aside from that, I could definitely take this for a nice Sunday drive and yeah, get out and not feel fatigued or uncomfortable. There is a little bit of road noise coming in. I'm guessing that's partly due to the firm fitment of all the bushings and all that sort of stuff. Those low profile tires. So it does produce a bit of noise. I don't think there's any wind noise. It's such a low slung aerodynamic design. And then on a smoother road, yeah, I'm hardly raising my voice at all. The hybrid system is very interesting because it just boosts the versatility of the Corvette, really. I'm averaging 13.3 litres per 100 kilometres. That's over a distance of around 770 kilometres. I think that's really good economy considering the performance you're getting from this. 488 kilowatts, you'd expect much higher consumption from a combustion engine with that much power. As I said, the V8 alone produces around 369, or it is exactly 369 kilowatts. So it's a fairly high strung, I guess, for a 6.2, or like a mild tune. It's going to use some petrol, but I think that electric motor really helps bring it down a bit. So when you're just cruising along, it's able to use the electric motor to just provide those boosts. Where that electric motor really helps out as well is taking off of the lights, because that's when the petrol engine is under, pretty much the most stress, apart from when you're flooring it. It's got to heave the weight up to speed, whereas the electric motor, with its instant torque, it just builds it up to speed very, very quickly, or at least assists the V8. So the V8 just has to churn along barely 2,000 RPM to get up to normal speed. And I think that's what really trims the consumption. Best yet though, it still feels like I'm driving a V8 muscle car. I can hear the V8, it's burbling over my shoulder instead of over the front. It's still, you know, it's on all the time. There is an EV mode, as I said, but you know, most of the time in the normal mode, it's just the V8's chugging away. So it feels, you got that V8 experience pretty much all the time. It's exciting in that way because you're sitting in this low slung cabin, all this crazy design, and you've got the V8 burbling. So you know something's happening here. You know this is an exciting model. It's not just a run-of-the-mill passenger car. I'll just show you the kick down here. Slow down. This is in the normal mode, by the way. 40 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, full throttle. And it builds up speed really quickly, but I don't know if you noticed then, the initial part, the electric motor provides that boost while the V8 catches up and while the gearbox, you know, sorts itself out or whatever, and then everything comes on. It's still quite seamless and linear. You just have this big spike at the start, and then it sort of just keeps climbing at a slightly, well, actually it's probably about the same rate really, because you've got double the output there. But yeah, getting off the line, it's just got instant response. I think it's a good move, or it's an interesting move, because it helps with performance. I think on a track or something, you'd be able to fly around the track, come around the corners. It's got the front electric motors help providing that extra grip, and you can, you know, get on the power nice and early, and it will just throw you up to the next corner. But then you've got that huge top end power as well to keep you going. It's yeah, a really interesting package, I think. And it's daring because, you know, a traditional V8 fan might not want a hybrid, but I think they've done well to retain pretty much everything we love about V8 muscle cars. It's just got this electric motor that helps the performance and helps trim consumption. So I don't see any complaints there. Okay, I've hit Z mode, which is basically a shortcut button, if you like, to your performance settings, and you can play around with all this: steering, suspension, engine, transmission, and your brakes, and the traction control. I've got the stability control completely turned off. I've got the suspension in the mid-level setting because firm, I find it picks up too much detail. Like, it's great for a track or something like that, but for this pretty poor road, like it's a very rough surface, there's a lot of ripples and bumps and so on, it's just giving me too much detail. I find the mid-level is a good balance. You can still smash into bumps and so on and hit corners hard, and it remains very flat, but it doesn't, yeah, send those tiny little vibrations and stuff through the wheel, which is what you want on the track, but yeah, probably not here. And I've just hit the M mode here for manual. The electric motor it's actually working as a benefit because it helps the engine build up revs from low RPM. You only need to lean on the throttle. There's so much grip. Yeah, from low RPM, I'll just show you that again. So second gear, 3,000 RPM. I'll let it go down to 2,500 RPM, full throttle. And it just helps it pick up instantly. It's almost like it's running on nitrous or something. It helps the engine build up revs because it's pulling the vehicle along a little bit, and that way the engine doesn't have to work as hard. It's like driving downhill almost, you know, there's no sort of gravity, or not much gravity holding it back. And then when the engine's revving, that's obviously where it produces maximum power as well. So with two of them combined, I think it works very well for this style of vehicle. Very flat down around this series of S-bends. Yeah, heaps of grip as well. I love the way that supercars, and this kind of feels like that as well, if you want to call it a supercar, but the front end is, you've just got that visibility straight over the front. You feel like you're sitting on the front axle. I can almost see where the wheels are. It's like driving a go-kart. It just makes it really engaging. I know exactly where the vehicle is placed. So you can pinpoint the apex and just, yeah, really get involved. Yeah, crazy speed. It's seriously quick car. This suspension setup is great because it's absorbing the little ripples and bumps and so on. It's not bottoming out, but it's still remaining very flat unstable. Having that V8 over your shoulder and then having it blip the throttle right in your ear hole, it's actually, yeah, it adds the excitement for sure. There is a bit of electronic sound coming through, giving you sort of this weird hyper mode sound. It's, you know, I'm not really a fan of electronic sounds coming through, but I think it sort of adds theatre, and you've still got the V8 in the background anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see what sort of G-force we can get going around the corners. Little G-force gauge there. Tight left-hander. That's that 1G pretty much. Yeah, the electric motor definitely helps out with acceleration. It makes the V8 seem like it's got 1,000 horsepower or something. It's just instant. With the steering in the maximum setting, it's a little bit heavy, but I've got plenty of feel coming through. I can feel the tyres stretching a little bit. I'm just surprised how much grip there is. It's so low and flat that there's, even with stability off, there's no problem with traction at all, even though it's got 488 kilowatts. It's amazing. Yeah, what a machine. I wasn't expecting it to be as muscle car-y as it is. Like, it still feels like a powerful, very fast muscle car, even though it's a hybrid. So definitely you can shake that out of your mind. That's, as soon as you see E-Ray, you think, oh, it's just a hybrid version, some green version. No, this is definitely a very quick sports car, and I think it actually, the electric motor actually helps pull the vehicle around the corner. So there's the front end grip is amazing. And then the rear end grip is awesome because you've got the V8 over the rear axle, pressing those massive tyres down onto the ground. It's there's so much grip. I'd love to get this on the track and just really stretch it and just see how much grip there is, because on a tight winding road like that, I found, yeah, absolutely no challenge at all. It just ripped around every corner as fast as I wanted it to go. A very amazing package, I think. I think Chevrolet has done a really good job of blending hybrid with old school V8 performance. All right, let's head out now to the private road and see how it goes with the performance test.